Enough. Lay down. 10:30. October 22. The energy that might be coming to you guys is in a few days, being asked to tell you this. That some of you are going to be required to come to realizations of some things about who you are and what you need to let go of energetically. And you're going to need to be okay with that. Otherwise, it's going to hurt real bad. But what you let go of ultimately benefits you. It'll benefit you. Sage, breathe deep. You're okay. Some of you are going to recognize who you were in past lives. And it's going to come as a in the words of Sarah McLachlan, it'll feel like a sweet surrender. Who you truly are. There's something keeping some of you from those memories. And that is the remembrance of the love you had in that lifetime. Because if some of you remember the love you had in that lifetime, that aspect of you would wake up in this lifetime. Ooh, don't let that go over your head. This reading is for the earth signs of the other layer of the zodiac, the way I'm reading. So we have Capricorn, Taurus, Aries, Virgo, Libra, and then the signs that are always included in all of them in my book: Virgo, Gemini, Libra, Pisces. The air signs kind of are included in this. You see where I'm going with this? But also the fire signs, because it's the earth signs. They have them all, and spirit. There's your ladder. There's your three of air, your faith, and the opening and the melting of your heart. And a knowledge, a wisdom that you are in conflict about The book you refuse to open. You are loved. You were loved then. You are loved now. You will be loved later. In that book that you read, that gave you the vision of the woman on the turtle's back, that vision, that story you saw of the dragon breathing light into the heart that stopped, that vision you saw or you read or you were shown, you were told, almost like a prophecy would occur, and it required faith, but it would reignite a heart. It would bring something back from space and time with a new book about the same love. You do. Come here. You are too troublesome right now. Lay down. Good night. You see what you got? No, no. Let me see. You already swallowed it, didn't you? Oh, I hope it doesn't hurt when it comes back out. I am talking to you. Don't put things in your face. Oh, and you're gonna burp about it. What were you munching on? There's nothing down there other than sage leaves and dust bunnies. And I don't even know how you find any dust bunnies. So you just chomped on a bunch of sage leaves on the floor, didn't you? I'm tuning into this. And it reminds me of the song I I heard this morning. What is it called? It's the first time I've heard it, at least in this lifetime. But it's from um Chavela, and it's a song called Paloma Negra, Black Dove. But the reason I don't even know how it showed up. I was looking up Chavela Vargas to see if there's any videos of her like doing interviews and stuff like that. I wanted to hear the voice of just her speaking. But I found that thing that said Paloma Negra, and I thought Paloma Faith, Paloma Faith is a singer. And she kind of looks like that. And then I'm like, wait a minute. But Black Dove, after I translated that Paloma Negra page, the song lyrics, which broke my heart. I remember Tori Amos had a song called Black Dove. So there's a correlation in a way between three completely different timelines. 3 complete different generations and 3 completely different musicians. But the song each of them is singing is about a black dove or a dove of faith, a paloma faith. Something's been seen and read that has ignited an icy heart. And I mean that very sincerely, because that heart that was frozen was missing that. You see the same coloring, and then all that ice melts. You see that? It's a very I'm seeing the phrase love story of the ages on a movie like 1920s theater, and the title of the film is Love Story of the Ages. And it's this love story of two people continuously following each other's soul trail. It's so beautiful. The only other time I've ever picked up on this energy remotely closely, anything even remotely like it, it's almost as if that other energy I picked up on that was like this was a sibling to this story, like very close, very on the back of the same turtle, on the same page of the story, so to speak. And it was those card readings I was doing called Once Upon a Time, way early, like in the first year of this channel. It was like 2017, I think. I don't even want to call this twin flames. It's so much more. It's like two people who already had twin flames and whatever comes after that. And these two souls have just been swimming through cosmic oceans like the Pisces to try to find each other. Oh, the deck's upside down. Sorry. The Four of Pentacles. I'm getting really intense inclination to let you know that the masculine energy in this, or if it's a feminine energy exhibiting masculine behavior, is only doing what they're doing because of the overburdenedness. You know, all those muscles on the shoulders are because they've been carrying that. Once that's gone, they become this almost instantly. It's such a beautiful feeling of what I'm feeling where this dragon breathes fire on that heart. And the way it feels is like someone who's never known compassion being shown compassion. They see it as that first and they step back to like, whoa. But then, oh, it's compassion. That masculine energy has so much internally through their inner child for something about themselves within their own self. But they kind of keep it in check. They keep their inner child in check. That's what that is. You see that? That inner child is only supposed to express only so much because the king is supposed to keep exhibiting some kind of a daddy exterior, pride. But the feminine can't get close to because he sees her as that, because he's been without. So you see the dilemma? There's too much fire to bring water, and the water just turns to steam. You see? And it's because of the masculine person, the kingly person, the way they are in themselves. A person who is called a heterosexual male, someone who wants a wife and a family, who wants to have children, who wants to see his wife pregnant, like that kind of a dude. Something inside him, heaven and earth and destiny, and the youth in him, to take a mask off. This could be someone who, at a young age, was like raised male or raised female, but later on they discover they're the opposite gender and they're kept in check from self-expression. You see that? A lot of people go through this. A lot. And that king of fire, technically the king of cups. Same goatee. But what they're missing is the feminine touch, which means that masculine part of them that feels like this has to go through the death and rebirth cycle so it can come back. It doesn't have to be a physical death or rebirth and rebirth. It just needs to be something you stop doing. In an energetic connection between two people. This can also be because one side is on its own, so it's carrying too much of the weight. So if I use myself as an example, and I'm way too masculine, then my masculine counterpart, the one who's tugging on the celestial rope, the one who's carrying the other side of that behind this person, then that version would be too feminine because that energy of femininity has to go somewhere. And if it's not with me, it would have to be with him because it's our energy. It's that partnership's energy. You get it? So if one side is perpetually too feminine, the other side's too masculine, even though we both need to be neutral and balanced. If one tilts the scale, the other goes up, doesn't it? So we have to maintain a balance not only in ourselves, but together as well. And we have to help our partners maintain that balance. And right now, the masculine in both people is exhausting. And the feminine in both people is, I don't want to call it exhausted, but it's like, that's what it's like. Okay, I need to look at you to paint this image because I don't want you to feel offended by what I'm about to say. Imagine someone really soft, someone really teenagey and bubbly, like a Spice Girl. They go through some apocalyptic thing, blah blah blah, and then it's suddenly they're a bodybuilder and they weigh like 400, but it's pure muscle, like beyond Arnold Schwarzenegger. They're like the Hulk, okay? But they have the mind. in the behavior of a 16-year-old girl or a 20-year-old boy. That's what the feminine's gone through. And the masculine has been, because it's been having to hold up. I hope that makes sense. So both sides need to go through a letting go of what causes you to have to that. Oh, you gotta hold the roof up. You gotta hold the roof up. No, let it fall. Sometimes it's not your responsibility to carry the weight for everybody. Sometimes it's your responsibility to plant seeds for yourself, to tend to your own garden first. You're required to unsubscribe from everything and hide, turn off the computer, and you know, detox your system of meat and byproducts. Just cry it out for a week. Sometimes you're required to get up and move and do things because faith, while being overburdened and still doing something, shows God something, doesn't it? It shows that you believe, that you have faith, that no matter how dark, God's still up there protecting you and in there. And when you're here on earth, there are people providing, taking care, and carrying a lot of weight for you. So what is it you need to work on? What is it you need to learn how to maneuver through? What part of you is too masculine? And what part of you is too feminine? And what part of you is just direct? What do you want to hold on to from you? And what do you want to let go of? What is an illusion about you? And what is an actual within your behavior? You have to really sit and think with yourself. You got to figure out what to do. Even the devil has been carrying a lot of weight for people and taking a lot of blame. You see that? You see that? I'm good. How are you? It's phenomenal. And technically, this would be the devil. Maybe some of this too. This was a satyr, the being of pleasure and fun. So we have love, we have faith, we have perception, we have moving away from grief and what you thought was. We have opening up yourself in your heart area to release the way you feel is authentic to who you are, to the things you say, to the things you wear, the things you offer, the things, the way you think about what you think, the way you perceive good and evil, the way you perceive black and white. the way you perceive past and future, night and day. It has to mature. It has to evolve from the 9 to the 10, because there's still a pinnacle, a gift, the 5-pointed pentacle to support you from spirit, from God, source. You need one more of those before you can get to this. And that step requires releasing things that aren't yours with love, so that you can see clearly which way you need. And because sometimes the path you need to go looks a little scary. Sometimes your partner doesn't look like your partner, but they're your match. I just saw the scene from Ever After where Da Vinci is telling Henry, she's your match, Henry. Doesn't matter if she's a peasant or near a king, she's your match. And then he goes, yep. And he goes after her. Oh, God. Hi. Hi. Bring me a latte. I know it hurts to let things go and how you feel about things. I know it's difficult to really pay attention to how you feel. Do you feel manly? Or is your mind constantly telling you words that are pre-tensing your emotions? Are you really a good enough father? Are you a husband to your wife so she can be a good enough mother to her children? Is your wife or your partner being good enough to you so you can feel good enough to be a good father? Where's the disconnect? Inside you and your partners, there is an imbalance because some of you hold the key and the lock in the relationship. You block the path. You see that? And it's forced the feminine energy into a really emotional state to find a way. But she's stuck in the water. And when she comes up to go through the earth and walk through the earth, there's that satyr blocking the way. You see that? The feminine energy within the men and the women can do is constantly just that. Constantly keep giving, constantly keep doing, constantly keep living, constantly keep going, constantly keep working, constantly keep eating, sleeping, forgiving, cleaning, cooking, loving, experiencing, but wondering, constantly wondering, because there's no balance. See? They're supposed to be. Which one looks more balanced? This one or this one? The correct answer would be neither. They're supposed to look more like this. Like this. They are put like this so that they can see what they are. You see that? So some of you are in separation, and when you come together, your darkness comes together first. And you guys don't seem to have the patience to get to each other's light because one of you always has to be right. And neither of you are right without the other. When this one's right, it's because it knows the dark and the light. When this one's right, it's because it knows the light and the dark. Because there's no dark in this one's light. But there is light in its dark. And this one, it has light and dark on both sides. So when they try to come together, how? Like this. Instead of like this. And the key to that is perception. Because what the masculine wants is the maiden. But he can't have the maiden because the maiden is busy making this. Because there's nothing else doing this for the maiden. And in some timeline somewhere, someone's sitting there reading this, seeing this. Way in the past, way in the future. Through some other planet, through some other space and time. Like, what the hell are these humans? We're learning to have faith in each other. That's why. You guys are learning to have faith in yourselves. We're all monsters on the inside. We all are. But what are we putting out into the world? We're all this. We're silent. But when we start to express, what are we putting out? Is it our own light? Is it someone else's light? Is it light that's influenced by other light? What is it? Is it imbalanced? Is it harmonized? How can this or this go back to this when this is in hiding and this is left alone? Of course, then this has to be this. Because this isn't with this. You see that? It desires to be with it, but it doesn't get up to come with it. There's a mask in the seat, but it's being removed slowly through all people, one way or another, gently. but within the earth of who you all are, the collective that I read for. Regulate your emotional states. It does not matter if you hate something or you love something. It doesn't matter what you think of it. What matters is, what are you thinking? Because others see that light. See that? Think about this stuff for a while. Come back to this video if you need to. Really think about this. There are parts in all of you that are not really your own. And those energies clash within you because they're not authentic to your story, to your love lives, to your inner children, to your sense of freedom, to your sense of liberty. There are things that have been done, said, spoken, lives, opportunities, versions of yourself because of other people, to chase other people, to lose other people, to listen to other people. The children that could have been born weren't. The homes you bought or you could have bought aren't there. The experiences you could have had, you never did because you wore a mask. And what was meant for you finds you under that mask. And that mask is emotions, energy, the light you emit or withhold due to desire or fear. People say the scribe in this deck is an intellectual part, that it knows things, it speaks the truth, and it's a fountain of whatever. Every time this card has come out in any reading I've ever done, it's been about a two-faced energy, not speaking truth, but repeating traditions told before it, working like a automaton bumblebee drone that just does what it's told, like a script. It is a face, it isn't a persona, it is a hologram within the sky of something that was real once, but then was turned into something scriptural, an idea, not a being or a person, not a knowing, not a knight, a king, a queen, an archetype, no. The giant floating Wizard of Oz head. It cannot have antlers if it is not of the earth. This is not of the earth, yet it carries sigils, symbols, animals, but even the animals do not stare back at it. They fly away from it. On the positive side of this, it is a record keeper, a witness, an observer, a watcher, a documenter. a desirer. See that over there, holding a candle. Someone watching from us in the heavens above. Maybe a Capricorn, maybe an Aquarius, maybe a Virgo, definitely a Leo and a Gemini, maybe a Cancer. Watching an old woman, a candle, trying to get home. That's that energy. The watcher, the witness, the recorder, camera, scribe, the one who follows and records. That's it. Some of you are part of a soul group collective, like a school of fish, spectrums of one color, the soul family. And there is an imbalance within your dynamic. Some of you are carrying the burdens that belong to others. Others of you are too imbalanced emotionally to carry your own burdens. You guys are being carried by some of your soul family, and others are doing work they shouldn't be doing because some of you are wounded. You need a break. You need to rest. You need to nourish. You need to reflect on who you are, not just by yourself, but in this collective. Are you the magician, the healer, the warrior, the shapeshifter, the elementalist, the hunter, the princess, the goddess, the queen, the empress, the mother, the maiden, the crone, the villain? Who are you in this story? We call the devil the devil. We call God God. We call the savior the savior. But who are you? There's so many that have an opinion on who I am. Who are you? I know who I was. I know whom I loved. I remember my past. Especially my most recent three past lives, or two past lives. I remember who I was. Who are you? When the veil of stars and skin gets removed, what color is your light? Are you truly a man? Are you truly a woman? Are you truly happy with what you have? Are you happy with what you feel throughout the day? Are you happy with how you behave, speak, look, act? Are you happy and content with how people have treated you? Are you able to let go of the injustice of what people never apologized for? Throughout all history, from kings and queens to parents and siblings and lovers and exes and employers and everything else, can you let it all be? Can you accept that even if you've been alive 8 decades And no one's given you compassion of any kind, or validated you, or confirmed you, or supported you, other than God. Can you still go on? Would you? If you were nothing but an old woman in the snow with a candle in your own cottage, no one and nothing in existence, would you be okay? Or do you need this? What if you were the last person in the universe? All things love. God loves. The devil loves. The light loves the dark. The dark loves the light. Dogs love food. Cats love catnip. Humans love and hate each other and themselves. They have favorite plants, favorite colors, favorite scents, favorite positions, favorite poses, favorite colors, and graphics and illusions and pictures. They have favorite histories and channels and history channels. They desire, they change, they evolve, they devolve. But why is it when they desire, they stop? When they love, they're free. But why don't you love in the same way when you're by yourself? Why does it turn into desire instead? Think about these things. There are white doves, there are black doves, there are dark stars, there are light stars, there are gods, there are devils. Who are we to say which is of the light and which is of the dark? Evil is evil, and good is good. That's a given. But light and dark are both capable of evil and good. So it's all about our perception, isn't it? And what we choose to do, and what we choose to allow to happen in our own lives. The greatest evil we can commit is to abandon. So ask yourself, how have you abandoned God within you? While you wait for us to do it for you. Sorry for the ankles. Tired today. I'm in a bad way. I had a weird dream. There was a cyclone. I don't know. It didn't feel bad. It was just very big, like really big. And this woman was asking me, "Can you stop it?" I was like, "Yeah, hold on." And then my phone rang, and I woke up. But I saw that cyclone. It was massive. I've never seen anything like it. Like, I was seeing it on top of a planet. Like, I don't even know what planet it was. The thing was bigger than the planet. It was so daunting. Oof. Anyway, I fixed my cup. Um, 50 I'm gonna go with your word. Anyway, have a nice day. And rewatch the video. There's a lot in there. A lot of channels information, a lot of activation, a lot of a rose bush. There's always something. There's always something. I hope it helps you. I hope you remember yourself, and I hope you remember who and what is important to you within yourself. And for those of you who your mothers and fathers never told you, I'm proud of you. You have become a wonderful woman, whoever you are, wherever. Yes, you can do better. You will. You just need to do it, you know? Just do it. You're going to anyway. You may as well do it earlier so that you have more time to enjoy it. But I'm proud of you. You guys don't even remember most of your past lives. Can you even imagine if you remember the love of your life in your past life and the love of your life in this life and realize they're two different people? And one of them was your father and the other life and your best friend and like your mother and your husband and your just weirdness, you know? You see them all and you're like, is that you? And then they do something and you're like, oh my God, do they know? I've met at least almost a dozen people from the past life. And I've had to sit there going, are you kidding? Do you not remember me? I'm gonna go. I love you. I need to go blow dry my hair. You know that thing that happens to your hair when you shower and you don't blow dry or put anything in it? And it's like, what are you doing, hair? Hair is like, he's sneaking for the coffee. Okay. Oh, he's such a little one. Um, in a few days, some of you might be going through, I'm asked to share this with you again. Some of you are going through something emotional. So if you need anybody, I'll be here. You're going to be fine, really. It's just, when you're holding on to something for too long and you got to let it go. Some of you are going to realize you don't need to let it go. You can make something out of it, like repurpose something. Others of you are letting things go because they're better off without you. And you need to recognize that, some of you. Others of you need to get your heads out of your asses and realize the reason you think you're not good enough for them is because of your own self-esteem issue. Because they feel like they're too good for you. So figure out where you are, because it's really difficult to explain the imbalance of energy in this, because it's a thread of masculine and feminine, which isn't even really. So trying to explain it to those of you who don't have that awareness is like explaining a color you've never seen. That's dividing the rainbow. How am I supposed to do that? So what I can say is male, female. Which one are you imbalanced in? Start noticing that, and you'll notice the layers beneath that, like this. It's not like this. It's like this. So you have male and female, and you're like, oh, it's those two. Nope. There's what are you like when they're both together? What do you like when it's just male? What do you like when it's just female? Can you imagine that? There's people in the world who are 100% male or female. What? How does that even work? I don't know. I wish I knew. But I haven't known in 2 lifetimes at the least. So, even in my last lifetime, I was second fiddle so many times, you know? And in this lifetime, I see so many people going through the same thing, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? Huh? Anyway, I'm gonna go. Get your stuff together, you guys. Just, you don't have to stop pretending who you are or who you want to be. But do your partners a favor and stop pretending with them. They deserve better. And if you don't have a partner, really, really, really feel love inside yourself. Right here. Right here. It is a genuine sensation that feels like uh, it's love. It's right there. I mean, fucking Sailor Moon has a crystal right there, dude. Why do you think it's right there? Like, focus on it. Focus on it. Feel in on your own body and feel that. There's supposed to be something, not your heart, above your heart. You're supposed to feel a chakra point right there, an energy center. That's why people go, "Ah." It's right there. That's where the diamond goes. People are like, oh, the ring finger. No, it goes right there. I love you.